And I guess that's a long-winded way of saying I think the president's new tactic is star-spangled stupid. And I don't know, maybe the White House should call Will Smith over and ask him to slap some sense into the teleprompter or something. Because I predict this won't work for the president.
Star-Spangled Stupid. Welcome to our evening live, ladies and gentlemen. We do an evening live. We have a lot of new viewers, so I wanted to, sort of tell you how things go around here. We do an evening live of, like, some of the clips we like that are hilarious throughout the day. We don't have a script or anything. We just sort of, like, sound off on our favorite theme of the day. If something really funny happens, we just sort of go in and have a good time at night. We hope that you're, if drinking is your thing, we hope you have a cold beer in your hand and you're watching. Maybe you're making dinner, whatever. We just go live in order to tell you about something funny that happened throughout the day. In the morning, we do a morning show. It's scripted. We have a big name guest and everything, and we really stick to the script. And we want to talk about the news. In the evenings, we want to like chill out and relax a little bit and show you something that you may not have seen during the day. And this is something we have yet to have ever seen before, which is the far left regime apparatchiks of Joe Biden's Politburo being called on their own election denialism. That's right, election deniers. This is the new slur that is being used about the right. However, what if you were to flip it around and apply that to the left? The left is excited and happy and giddy about trotting onto any stage that you could give them and telling you that Donald Trump was not the legitimate president in 2016, that Donald Trump stole the election. Everyone was really happy to tell you that. Of course, leading off with the battle axe herself, Hillary Clinton. Here's just a teeny scintilla, a little sprinkle of salt reminder of exactly how the Democrat Party treated Donald Trump, calling him an illegitimate thief of the election. Do you remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
How can you win with Russian interference, though?
That's a real
what I'm
thing.
scared about in 2020.
But rightly.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate? Folks, look, I absolutely agree.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
Stolen emails, stolen election. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump.
If Al Gore won that election, I think he won it anyway.
Actually, I think I carried Florida.
Bush versus Gore. A court took away a presidency.
Our candidate had won the popular vote, and the only way they could win the election was to stop the voting in Florida.
What I observed as a voter, as a citizen of Illinois 4 years ago, were troubling evidence of the fact that not every vote was being counted.
You refused to concede and say that you lost. Do you stand by that decision today?
Absolutely. The election was not fair. The process was not fair.
It was really exciting to see the current governor of Georgia sitting there on The View talking about how she is absolutely the governor. Oh, man, Stacey Abrams, she's had such a great run as governor of Georgia. So exciting. Of course, these people have never questioned the results of an election. You have to take a deep breath, right? You have to take a deep breath. You got to hit the, you got to hit the inhaler, and then you have to lean back, and you have to go, okay, what if we actually ask these people to their faces about their election denialism? I mean, who'd you have in those clips? You had Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Jerry Nadler, Al Gore, Bill Clinton, all these people denying elections. Illegitimate election, stolen election, time after time after time. And that was a small snippet of a 10-minute clip. So what happens if you ask some of the dumber people in Biden's regime about their claims of a stolen election, particularly the people who like to call Republicans insurrectionists and who like to say that Republicans are election deniers and so on and so forth, and they shouldn't be allowed to run for office or have any space at the table, and and back channel all the social media companies, right, to try and harm us and get our towns taken down. What if you asked them? What if you went let's start at the bottom of the barrel, okay? Let's start at the lowest information, lowest amount of French fries in the Happy Meal sort of member of that cabal, which would be Karine Jean-Pierre. We've said it many times, Karine Jean-Pierre, not ready for prime time. She proves this time and time again. She proves this with regularity, including but not limited to today when she said that the Nord Stream pipeline was going to be shut down. That's the Nord Stream pipeline from Russia, which has been, I think, effectively completely shut down right now. So Europe, good luck. Winter is coming. Game of Thrones is back, I guess. There's some cold comfort for you. The Nord Stream pipeline, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. This is what Karine Jean-Pierre
We've heard us say this, that what we see Russia's doing, and we've been very clear about this, is that they're using energy, they're weaponizing energy, and it's choosing to one of the things that has been out there, to shut down the pipeline of Nord Stream 1.
They shut down the Nord Stream pipeline. Where will Karine Jean-Pierre get her little outfits to do her little press conferences in? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much money she spends on her outfit. Ain't nothing. Doesn't matter where she gets her hair done. Doesn't matter, what glow up she gets before she's trotting out there. Ladies and gentlemen, ain't nothing gonna protect Karine Jean-Pierre from the devastating truth bombshell that is about to have a direct hit from the USS Peter Doocy, Fox News, who is going to hit Karine Jean-Pierre with the truth nuke of her old tweets. Yes, that's right. The left loves to pull up the old tweets of you, of your employer, of your children, of anyone on the right. If you tweeted something funny or stupid, doesn't even matter if you're on the right. It could be Kevin Hart. They'll pull up your old tweets and they'll cancel you. Well, the canceling now came to Karine Jean-Pierre today, where Peter Doocy pulled up her old tweets about being an election denier and saying, what about this tweet, for instance? Stolen email, stolen drone, stolen election. That's Karine Jean-Pierre. Karine Jean-Pierre also tweeting about the governor of Georgia, saying that Brian Kemp was not a legitimate governor. Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial election from Georgia and Stacey Abrams. How do you like it when the shoe's on the other foot? How do you like it when the glove's on the other hand? Or the hand's on the other shoe? How do you like it? What's going on with Karine Jean-Pierre? She was asked about this today. Does this mean Karine Jean-Pierre is an insurrectionist? Does this mean Karine Jean-Pierre is an election denier? Should Karine Jean-Pierre be stricken from social media for questioning the outcomes of an election? Well, by her own rules, of course. And Peter Doocy had the balls to ask. And good for him. This should be what every reporter says every single time that someone like this is on camera. But we'll take it. Go.
Oh, Peter, go ahead.
Thanks, Karine. A follow-up about the MAGA Republican attention. So if we're all in agreement that it is incorrect to say the 2020 election was stolen, what about the 2016 election?
Look, I'm not going to go back to where we were or what happened in 2016. We're going to focus on the here and now. We're going to focus on what's happening today, this inflection point that the president pointed out very clearly, very decisively.
Just in trying to understand the new attention on the MAGA Republicans, you tweeted in 2016 Trump stole an election.
I was waiting, Peter, when you were going to ask me that question.
Well, great. Here we go. You tweeted Trump stole an election. You tweeted Brian Kemp stole an election. If denying election results is extreme now, why wasn't it then?
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous. I have been. Well, you're asking me a question. Yes. Let me answer it.
And you said it was ridiculous.
I was talking specifically at that time of what was happening with voting rights and what was in danger of voting rights. That's what I was speaking to at the time.
That's ridiculous. Well, I got the tweet right here. You said it's a stolen election. I don't know, Jerry, can we toss up the tweet again? I got the tweet right here, Karine. It is a tweet. It's you saying it's you. That's you, right? That's your verified Twitter handle? Is that your account? You got a little blue check mark, right? That's you in the avatar, right? I mean, I think so. I'm almost sure of it. That's you saying that this is a stolen election. Donald Trump stole the election. Unprecedented. Ooh, you made up another word, Karine. Good for you. Man, did you learn that one while you were shopping at the Nord Stream pipeline in Russia? Karine Jean-Pierre, of course, her voice goes up an octave. She goes, ha, 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 ha. You can always tell somebody's actually nervous by where their voice inflexes, right? So when you have an inflex in their voice, when their voice goes up and it goes high, that means they're lying. I mean, it's almost like it's an almost guaranteed tell when you're talking to somebody. Karine Jean-Pierre saying it was ridiculous, yet she was the one who was questioning the elections. Karine Jean-Pierre questioning a lot of things, like, for instance, why did I accept this job? Why am I working for a man who starred in Weekend at Bernie's and has only gotten older and sadder and smellier, and he smells like old cabbage and Munster cheese that has been sitting out in Tampa, Florida in the hot sunshine by a pool that is empty and filled only with unspeakable sadness. The sadness that Karine Jean-Pierre must feel every single day when she walks out and has to call on Peter Doocy. Man, that was a savage move, Peter, to pull up the old tweets. She, of course, didn't answer the question. She did eventually go on to say that she thought Donald Trump was legitimate, which I think is a great line of questioning for any reporter with the sack out there who wants to actually have a spine and go to someone like Biden or Hillary or Clinton or Obama and ask them, hey, yo, is George Bush legitimate? Is, your pal, George Bush, you're in all the selfies with him, right? He's hugging Michelle Obama. Are these people legitimate? Do you think Donald Trump legitimately won the election? Is Donald Trump a legitimate president? Man, you want to see them go flames on. This is why Karine Jean-Pierre has this look. See if you can catch the look. Whenever she has to call on Peter Doocy, she has the look of unspeakable sadness at the bottom of the pool. Check it out.
I'm the president since the event, so I can't speak to that at this time.
Thanks, Karine. Do you consider Donald Trump to be a political rival of President Biden?
I'm not going to speak to that from here.
But you talk about Trump all the time. So do you consider him to be...
I don't talk about Trump all the time.
Ultra MAGA? You guys were criticizing his handling of COVID last week. Yeah. You've mentioned his January 6th response a couple days ago. No. So can you say, based on all that... I didn't say anything about Mar-a-Lago. I'm just asking you if you consider the president to be...
I'm saying from here, I'm not going to comment on that.
Does the president still want to think that he would be very fortunate to run against Trump in 2024, like he had said before?
Again, I'm not going to comment on...
It's just I'm not... I'm the president. In the next election, I'd be very fortunate if I had that same man running against me. Does he still
All I
think
can
that?
tell you, Peter, is that the president intends to run in 2024.
Okay, so the president intends to run in 2024. That's probably why Joe Biden is giving his Hitler speech, right, in front of Independence Hall last week. It's still the creepiest speech in American history. They are talking about MAGA supporters, saying that MAGA supporters live in a sea of lies and that they are gripped by election denialism. Yet he can't look at his own staff or his own sayings. I mean, in the montage that we played, Joe Biden told a lady who thought Donald Trump was illegitimate that she should be his vice president. That's what he said. Here's Joe Biden talking about Republicans and saying that Republicans are the ones who live in a world of untruth.
People's habits of the heart and our character, optimism that is tested yet endures, courage that digs deep when we need it, empathy that fuels democracy, the willingness to see each other not as enemies but as fellow Americans. Look, our democracy isn't perfect. It always has been. Notwithstanding those folks you hear on the other side there, they're entitled to be outrageous. This is a democracy. But history and common sense...
Okay, yes, big round of applause for Joe Biden. Joe Biden getting heckled there. People saying, let's go Brandon, screaming, doing the siren. Joe Biden gets heckled everywhere he goes, probably because Joe Biden uses the kind of rhetoric that says that people in the MAGA movement are a threat to the Republic and live in a shadow of lies.
MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. But together we can choose a different path.
Okay, why don't you choose a different press secretary? Because your press secretary said that Donald Trump is not a legitimate president and that Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, is not a legitimate governor. So why don't you choose a different path, Joe? And also, can that path like be never giving a speech again? Because everywhere you go, you have a seizure on the stage and you start screaming at a protester and saying that the American people are a threat to democracy. This this kind of rhetoric, it ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna end well. And here's Joe Biden doing just that. I think this was yesterday. Go.
For work, not wealth. Let me close with this. We're a serious moment in our nation history, and it's not I mean it from the bottom of my heart. As I said last week, we remain in the battle for the soul of America. By the way, all right, God love you. Let him go. Let him go. No, don't let him go. Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot. No, everybody's entitled. Okay? Look. Extreme MAGA Republicans don't just threaten our personal rights and our economic security. They embrace political violence.
Joe Biden calling the Americans who disagree with them threats. That's the new tactic. The new tactic is they know they're losing. They know they are going to collapse in 2022. They know they have lost the will of the American people. The American people have wide open eyes, wide open ears, and are awake now. The American people are awake to the failures of this administration. They are awake to the lies. And they are repulsed and disgusted by people like Karine Jean-Pierre, who is an election denier, who did say that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president. We showed you the tweets. And she regularly denies reality. The American people live inside of reality, and that reality sucks right now under Joe Biden's rule. This, we had to play my favorite Karine Jean-Pierre versus Peter Doocy clip talking about the border. People have had a belly full of it, man. They're sick of this. This type of pseudo-reality that the Biden administration lives in is really starting to grate on people, specifically when it gets down to the border issue. This clip was so important to us. She was talking about vaccine mandates, and Peter Doocy was asking about vaccine mandates as it applies to people just walking across our southern border. It went a little like this.
So they're two different things. They're two different things.
But how is it two different things? Somebody unvaccinated comes over on a plane. You say that's not okay. Somebody walks into Texas or Arizona unvaccinated. They're allowed to stay. Why?
But that's not how it works. Like we actually no.
I know that that's not what you guys want to happen, but that is what is happening.
But that's not. It's not like somebody walks over and that's not how.
Exactly what's happening. Thousands of people are walking in a day. Some of them turn themselves over. Some of them are caught. Tens of thousands a week are not. That is what is happening.
It's not like people just walk in. Karine Jean-Pierre, it's not like people are just walking in. Wow. You know, here at the Benny Show, we have a little uncomfortable thing for you, Karine. We have something called cameras and eyeballs and brain stems, and they all work in living color. Karine Jean-Pierre, quote, it's not like people are just walking into the country. Who are you going to believe? Karine Jean-Pierre or your lying eyes? So there are people just walking into the country. Yes, Karine Jean-Pierre is a liar. Yes, Karine Jean-Pierre is an election denier. Yes, Karine Jean-Pierre said that Donald Trump was illegitimate. She said so on her verified Twitter handle. This is exactly the kind of reason why they hate Peter Doocy so very much, and why Peter Doocy was called a dumb SOB by Joe Biden on camera. We can't play this clip enough, and man, Peter Doocy is such a homie. Check it out.
What do you think these presidents have information about? Do you think it places a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
So there's the stupid son of a bitch line from the man who's restoring the soul of America. Also, that man hates half the country. First time in American history that we've got a president who actually hates half the country. That's never happened before. That man's calling half the country terrorists and election deniers. Yet he has an election denier literally unashamed and working directly for him as his spokesperson. And Joe Biden himself, in that montage we played for you at the start of the live here, we wanted to play that first clip, start of the live here. We wanted to show you these people are the ones who have been denying the results of elections for a very long time. Maybe we could make a rule where we just don't do that. Maybe we make a rule where we have secure elections, where we have elections where everybody agrees on the win because it's secure, because one vote, one person, one vote. It's pretty simple. We have total transparency into the process, and that fixes everything. Yo, sour grapes, I got to tell you, man, I'm a Republican. You think that I haven't seen some pretty miserable losses for Republicans? John McCain, I lived through Mitt Romney, some really bad Republican. My first Republican I ever remember campaigning for was Bob Dole back in the day. I was a little kid. Man, I met Bob Dole back in the day. I grew up in Iowa. You meet all these guys. It's kind of part of the reason it got me thinking politics is really cool, man. But what can you say? These people got beat like a drum. That's the America that you just grow up in. You win some, you lose some. And the point is not to get the Republican victory forever, as much as I'd like that. My party wins forever. The point is to have a process that is safe and secure that everybody agrees on. This is really, really important stuff. And it's the thing that Karine Jean-Pierre is literally fomenting from the podium dais, and we give Peter Doocy a big tip of the hat and a big thank you today for calling her out on it. More reporters with stones and Republicans need to call Democrats out on their election denialism. This is offense. This is taking it to them. To our knowledge, Peter Doocy is the first mainstream reporter who's just gone straight in to the Clintons, the Obamas, the Bidens of the world. Biden's press secretary is a good start. Now let's ask the rest of them, hey, is Donald Trump a legitimate president? Here's all these times that you said Donald Trump is not a legitimate president. Can you tell us how you're not an insurrectionist, an election denier? Thank you. Very easy. But if it were that easy, man, the world would be gumdrops and chocolate rivers. But it ain't. That's why we do this show, and that's why we wanted to bring you a little funny clip there, and I don't know, hopefully you laughed a little bit, had a nice little compilation of Karine Jean-Pierre getting roasted like a hot tamale by Chef Peter Doocy. Thank you very much, Peter Doocy, for asking that question, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the morning, 11 a.m. Sean Davis, the editor of The Federalist, joins us to talk about Hunter Biden, to talk about Joe Biden, and to talk about the extremism inside the Democrat Party. We will see you in the morning. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is the Evening Benny Show.